I am Arti Sarvaiya. Today is the second day of our semester 2's presentation. In this presentation, I am going to deal with this topic, Waiting for Godot as an absurd theatre. This is my personal information. Points to ponder. Introduction, about the writer, about the play, Waiting for Godot as an absurd theatre, conclusion, and then references. First, introduction of the term absurd. The term absurd was first used by Martin Esslin, a bottom review of absurdist writers takes things rationally, not romantically. A critic defines absurd as the absurd presupposes a human judgment. Only man can confront the disparity of experience. For this, Samuel Beckett's play, Waiting for Godot, is the masterpiece of absurdist play. Almost nothing happens throughout the play. The action takes the place on a stage presenting two characters, Vladimir and Esteban. The setting represents the post-war era where human existence becomes a challenging one. About the writer, Samuel Beckett was born in Dublin, Ireland. In his writing, he altered between English and French, and he translates his own works. He wrote 4 novels, 2 dramas, a collection of short stories, essay, and art criticism. He post-war era. Samuel Beckett has settled in France and wrote in both French and English. In his play, we can find his experiences during the World War, which represent or give the shape of his writing. In his most famous work, the drama Waiting for Godot, he examines the most basic foundation of our lives with striking dark humor. About the play, Waiting for Godot is a tragicomedy which is written in 2 acts, and it is first published in 1952 in French as an Attendance Godot and first produced in 1953. Waiting for Godot was a true innovation in drama and the theatre of absurd first theatrical success. This play got the first theatrical success of an absurd theatre. The play consists of conversation between Vladimir and Esteban, who are waiting for the mysterious God who never comes. Waiting for Godot as an absurd theatre. The theatre of absurd illustrates an attitude and a frame of mind towards life where human existence is a conundrum of illogical, senseless, and hopeless activity. The movement, activity, and checks or a conversation between the character of absurd drama do not carry any real sense, and it is on this idea that Beckett penned his most famous popular work, Waiting for Godot. It does not have a proper plot or a proper setting. The talks and the actions of 2 central characters, Vladimir and Esteban, do not carry any real sense, and all this makes Beckett's Waiting for Godot as an absurd play. Throughout the play, only the conversation between Vladimir and Esteban is going on, and some of the conversation or some of the dialogue is repeatedly repeats, and some of the conversation is meaningless. It is only happens only done for the time pass. Here are some characteristics characteristics of Waiting for Godot. These are some characteristics of the absurd theatre which we can find in the Waiting for Godot. First is the lack of action. The most significant feature of an absurd play is the lack of action. Either nothing or very little happen throughout the play. In Waiting for Godot, there is nothing significant happen throughout the play. There is only the waiting and waiting. Nothing more than happen in that play. Loss of identity. In an absurd drama, the characters lose their identity. In Waiting for Godot, the tramps have no identity, and even if they lose their identity in course of the action, their identity and their relationship are in doubt. They cover the day jointly, but they spend the night apart. In this play, Vladimir and Esteban's identity, Beckett doesn't give any information about except their names. Their identity, what is the relationship between the both characters, that also doesn't define in this play. And both are for both life is like a rain of plot, lack of plot and story. There is not any story about the characters. They do not go anywhere, remains in the same place and utter meaningless sentence. There is also the repetition of some of the sentences or conversation. Like for example, this in this photograph we can see that this dialogue is very famous, and this dialogue is repeatedly coming in the throughout the play. Lack of characterization. Characters' past is unknown in the play and are directly introduced to the audience. Only their names and their miserable life is presented. In Waiting for Godot also there is nothing defined about the characters except their name, from where they come and for where they go. That doesn't define in anywhere in throughout the play. No proper beginning and end. The play has no beginning and end. It starts with a situation and end with the same situation. Even the acts have the same kind of situation. Waiting is the key in the play, which shows a journey from nothingness to nothingness. There is no beginning and ending in this play, and the key concept and the key idea of this play is waiting. The both characters are continuously waiting for a Godot, and this waiting is a theme of this main theme of this play, and it signifies the nothingness of the life. And, useless dialogues. Most of the dialogue serves no purpose, especially lucky speech, highly symbolic, but apparently no meaning. Actions loses its importance because of unworthy dialogue and are just to return to pass the time. Some of the dialogues of this play are written only for the passing of the time, and some of the dialogues are repeatedly come, and we can find some of the conversation which we can consider that this has happened just because of the passing of time. And conclusion. Thus, the Waiting for Godot is an absurd play which mocks the man's life and its meaninglessness. The whole background of the play reminds of a man's loneliness and alienation. There is a suffering, agony, anxiety, waiting, futility, and all sorts of absurdity. So, from the point of view of some structure, theme, motive, character, atmosphere, setting, and language, we find that the play is an absurd one. This is the references. Now you have any question that you can ask.
Auntie, how can we read Waiting for Godot in a modern context, whether it is an absurd play or an existential?
In this play,
Question is this.
What are your views on whether Waiting for Godot is an absurd play or an existential play?
most of the characteristics.
Question you asked.
Answer.
Absurd or an existence?
Waiting for Godot, according to me, Waiting for Godot is an absurd play. There is a theme of, we can say that there is a theme of existentialism, because in Vladimir and Esteban continuously waiting for Godot, and we can say that they are waiting for their existential philosophy. So, according to me, it is an absurd play.
How would you examine Waiting for Godot as an existential play?
As I mentioned in my slides, that there is lots of characteristics which are similar similar to theater of absurd, and we can through that we can say that this is the an absurd play.